You guys, I'm so excited about my guest today. In the hype seat, in the hot seat, Lindsey Tronolone is the team leader of the Jupiter Group, which is a new team here in Jupiter, Florida. It's a new real estate team. She is an absolute beast in personal branding and developing a story and creating a brand and a storyline online on social media as a brand new team. She has done an incredible job of defining what her team's story is, what her company is even about. Her branding is on point. She did everything right when building a business. And I'm so excited for her to share how she did that. And also she has a background in MLM, which is multi-level marketing. She had like a mini empire in MLM. And I'm so obsessed with how she built her MLM business and how that translates to her role as a real estate agent and just how she's built her personal brand. She's an up and coming star. I'm telling you, you want to pay attention to Lindsey Tronolone, and she is in the hype seat today. Lindsey, welcome. All right, we made it. Are we recording? Are we live? Is this it?
We did it.
Did we make it? Okay, so for anyone listening / everyone listening, we just figured out for the very first time how to do a podcast episode kind of in person here at the building, at the mothership. And our setup was a little bit whack for a second. It's funny, actually, like Lindsey and I were just talking about how as business owners, how you think you have something figured out and then something goes sideways. And I swear to God, the elite business owners can figure it out on the fly. So she and I were just duct taping together this setup, but I think we have it figured out. Whether or not this is actually recording remains to be seen, but could be a fire conversation that ends up getting wasted. Who knows? We'll find out.
Never wasted. Always good.
Never wasted. I'm so excited about this conversation. So Lindsey is an absolute powerhouse and an up and coming real estate star. And I want to just jump right in, put you on the hot seat / in the hype seat, and have you talk about how you've jumped in headfirst into recording content, putting yourself out there as a brand new team leader. I don't think I've ever seen a team leader hit it so hard on social media and get after it as much as you have. And your brand is flawless. It's so dialed in. Talk about how you've just like gone for it.
I mean, I feel like I'm blushing over here. Hello. Yeah, I've always kind of been an all or nothing person. I'm a really big believer in jumping in with both feet because I don't think you can operate well kind of halfway in, halfway out. So when I decided I really wanted to grow on social media, I decided I was going to do it the right way from day one, which was consistent content, every single day that aligns with my personal brand and my ideal client avatar. I've talked about this with you and with other agents as well. I feel like knowing who you want to market to is 90% of the game on social media because I'm not the right fit for everybody, and that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. So really understanding, what type of content I want to put out, how I want to keep it personal to me. So not trying to be somebody else, not trying to be this perfect, polished, very posh agent. That's not me. I'm a mom of 2. My life is crazy. It's messy. It's not always put together. So really just aligning my social media presence with how I would present myself in real life was very important to me. I didn't want to try to pretend to be something that I wasn't. So jumping into the social media world as a real estate agent, I wanted to do it with video. I knew video was going to be the most bang for my buck. So if you look at my Instagram, both my personal Instagram and my team Instagram at the Jupiter Group, you will see it's predominantly reels with a handful of static posts thrown in there that will align with what we offer, who we'd like to speak to, and our location here in Jupiter.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're about, where you are, who can hire you, and what you do. I think you just hit it on the head that formula and just rinse and repeating that over and over again is what, like that's the playbook. Like that's it, right?
And more than anything, I think if at least my perspective and what I've researched and what I've seen other people do is consistency is the name of the game. Even if you are not perfect, even if you've never posted on social media, and you don't know kind of what your voice is, I think consistently showing up and allowing people to follow you on that journey, allowing people to see, oh my gosh, remember when Lindsey posted that first video and like a year ago and watching the progression of content, it makes people feel like and allows people to come along that journey with you, which is really what I wanted to do as a new team leader. So, I've been in the industry for 4 years now, just launched my own team. I wanted to bring people along that journey and show them like, look, we're starting from scratch, but this is how we're going to build it. We're going to show up consistently. We're going to show up authentically. We're going to show up and show you what we're all about. So if you feel like you're a good fit for us, you feel comfortable enough to reach out.
It's so good. It's so good. And I think the thing that has really, really resonated for me with how you've gotten after it is showing the journey and being and leaning into launching this thing and not waiting until you as a group, because you've been selling real estate for 4 years and you've sold, I mean, some of the highest priced homes in our area. Like Homegirl has sold a 20 something $1 million home. Like she has a $20 million listing right now, but not for nothing. Launching a team, it can be really, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make in any business is launching a brand or a company and then figuring out, and there's nothing wrong with this because some people, like, you do need to figure it out. But I think the thing that you did really well from jump was having your brand locked in, your messaging locked in, and then getting after it consistently and not being afraid to like make adjustments as you've gone, but like sticking with the core message of where you're located, who you are, what you're about, and why someone should work with you. Like, I feel like your content is so good with those same things over and over again. And then also injecting in like your personal brand as a leader and as a business owner and your personal background, like kind of like woven in. It's so good. And if anyone listening to this is trying to figure out their voice and how to build a brand, I'm telling you, go to Lindsey's page, the Jupiter Group, and use it as a template. It's so, so good.
I really appreciate that. I'm getting stuck in the fear factor of it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect before I can do anything will keep you exactly where you are. So my thought process going into this, and I'm sure you can relate, is ready, fire, aim. We're ready. Let's do it. And let's dial it in as we go. Because I'm telling you, in my experience in real estate and other businesses that I've had, it's if you wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity for you to feel like you're ready, it's never going to happen.
Yes.
So, I would encourage people that are listening to this, if you feel like, wow, I would love to make social media a lead generation stream for me, just do it. Just push play, push record, post the video. It's okay. Like, who cares if it's not perfect? I would argue, you are your own worst enemy when it comes to that fear factor. And people will find you relatable, and they'll find you inspiring, and they'll find you to be a comfort creator where they say, wow, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too. And having that relatability, I feel, in business, especially in today's day and age where people are tired of the picture perfect Instagram highlight reel, being authentic and being relatable and not being perfect is 100 times better.
Oh my God, I could not agree more. Say it again for the people in the back. Like, yes, I love it so much. Okay. So your background, I want to talk about your background as a business owner. And one thing that I have respected so much about you, like from jump, is that you have been unapologetic about your background in the MLM space. And I'm saying unapologetic, and I'm almost like putting air quotes around it, because the MLM world has had such a dark shadow over it, especially over the last like 2-3 years, with a lot of these companies closing and like really screwing over a lot of their members and people that have really built businesses. Like MLM, especially for a millennial. So I graduated high school in 2005, and the MLM stuff was like, it was rampant when I was in college and then, coming out of college. And I have always been a fan of women making money and having opportunities for themselves and their families. And I have always really, really hated the fact that there's like this shadow over women doing that. And like the shit talkers and the naysayers, I feel like there's a really interesting band of women that really got after the MLM space and did it well. And you're one of them. And like just kind of said no to the naysayers. I don't care to the naysayers, and just built a business in the MLM space. So talk a little bit about how you did that. I love the story about how you got started in MLM to begin with, like why you started it, and go ahead.
Yeah. And I'll clarify for those of you who don't know, MLM is multi-level marketing, direct sale. You've seen it posted or talked about. You
just brought up a really good point. The Tupperware, the Mary Kay back in the day, the Cutco knives, like all of that stuff is MLM. And now there's Advocare and It Works. And I don't want to name drop the ones that you've been affiliated with, but that's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a million of them. And anybody who has a Facebook has seen somebody at some point posting about something that they're selling in a direct sales or multi-level marketing space. It's been around forever. Actually, what's hysterical is my husband's grandmother was like the Southeast regional sales rep of Tupperware. She was like an OG boss in MLM space.
Love it. Get her on the podcast.
Yes.
I love it.
But anyway, so for me, multi-level marketing came into my life after I had my first baby, who is 8 now. It was at a point in my life where, and for those of you who don't know me, I have worked since I was 13 years old. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household. So having that value of knowing how to support yourself and make your own money has been driven into me since day one. So it's not surprising to me that I fell into this field, but I was a naysayer for a while in high school and early college. It really didn't make sense to me until I needed it, which I think happens to so many people. So when it was introduced to me, I was a new mom. I had struggled with some postpartum. I really wasn't in a good place confidence wise. And I was looking for an outlet that would allow me to make money without having to put my son in daycare. Cause at the time it just was not the vibe for me. I know I don't shame or judge anybody who, if that's your course and that's your path, I love that for you. But at that time for me, I wasn't what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for a way to make money, and I saw a girlfriend posting about this opportunity. So I reached out to her and I said, listen, if you tell me what to do, I will do it. Just whatever I need to do to make money, I'll do it. Just tell me. If you tell me that I have to message people or post on social media or ask my family and friends, I'll do it. I feel confident enough in my abilities to not manipulate or shame people into doing anything, which I think when you mentioned the dark cloud, like that's where that kind of messaging comes in.
Go back though. What year was this?
2017.
Okay. So you stepped into the MLM space after MLM had really run its course with, which I think is also worth noting and pretty cool and remarkable, because it's very, I think anyone that has ever tried to sell any kind of MLM, like I was like a Lip Sense, because I loved that product. Do you remember that product? Oh my God.
Yes.
That. And then there was a makeup brand that did these like fluffy eyelashes, and I still have boxes of it. Like I could tell that they were going to like go under, and I literally bought boxes of it. Like I'm obsessed with it. But anyway, I think anyone that has dipped their toe into the MLM world pre like 2015 did very well if they got after it. And then after 2015, I would argue that, and I'm not trying to like gas you up, but I really think, I just want to point out that it's remarkable that you built what you did coming into the space that like late for the MLM world. Like I feel like Rodan and Fields was really like getting after at that point. It Works had kind of like come and gone. And this might be my perception, but is that, do you think
no,
that's
I think you're accurate, because what really, and it's interesting that we're talking about this now, like from a social media perspective, what really made those big first leaders make a ton of money was social media. They were posting this was back when Facebook was like a baby and you could see the entire stream of people posting. So they would just post it, and they grew their businesses authentically at a time when social media was brand new. And it was like the Wild West. Like you weren't being filtered. You weren't being shut down. You weren't, so coming into the space after social media had made a turn and they said, we don't want you to advertise things if you're not paying us, and shutting down those posts, it became more about authenticity and sharing a story, which back to, kind of the full focus here. That's where I really learned about storytelling and selling. How, and I'm sure you can relate to this. People don't care about what you're selling until they realize how it benefits them. How can it impact them? So telling a story rather than just making a post that says, buy this, buy that, selling the pain point, selling the story rather than selling the product. That's where I learned that skill set. And for me, it came into my life when I really needed it, when I was dying for some, autonomy, when I was dying to feel like my worth was outside of just motherhood. As an entrepreneur, I think there is a juxtaposition of motherhood versus boss babe, and you can't have both because you're, always neglecting. And this space gave me an opportunity to step into both at the same time.
And I would argue a third too, like being a leader and because was that your first, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but was that your first foray into leadership? Like, had you led a team before, or like, was that your first?
No, really like at that scale. So hundreds of people. Yeah. That was the first kind of foray into also understanding the premise of, being
Foray is such a good word.
What?
I feel like foray is such a good word. I want to like relabel this entire podcast like the foray with Lindsey Tronolone.
Yeah, just, and growing those skill sets in that space, in a space that felt reachable, attainable for me at the time, I will argue to this day has allowed me to have the success I've had in real estate, bar none. Learning how to speak to people that I've never spoken to before, learning how to build rapport quickly, learning how to listen more than I speak, learning how to understand that not every person is a good fit for me, and that's okay. And learning how to motivate people, how to share a story, how to share that belief that, hey, if she can do it, so can I. And all of those skills kind of cohesively come together in a way that allows you to grow and expand and sell. And, if you can sell a multi-level marketing product, those same skill sets can be transferred to selling a house. Product is different. Skill sets are the same.
Yeah. And I think it boils down to also like how we kick things off with how good of a job you're doing right now, just telling your story and consistently telling the same story. So it's not confusing for people. And like you're nailing it with your narrative and your brand on social media. And I think if there's a takeaway that I've learned from you, it's that the story is the vehicle between a yes and a no is going to be the story and the conversation that you have.
Correct.
So when someone says, and the thing is also in real estate, real estate is not, I've always said this, real estate is not a sales business. Like it's not a sales business. Like I hate that our license says real estate salesperson because we're not closing. Like I don't think, at least, and this has always been my approach, I'm not closing anyone. I'm figuring out what they need and I'm figuring out if I have a solution for it. And more often than not, like I don't have a solution. More often than not, like most people that you encounter in real estate, if you think about like all the people you network with and, that come into your open houses and whatever. And so it's nailing the conversation and nailing the rapport building with someone that actually does have a problem that you can solve and not being offended when like that conversation doesn't turn into a sale. And I feel like in the MLM world, that's what you had. Like you had to like, hey girl into people's DMs over and over, but you're putting yourself out there in the most like, hey girl. Like honestly, someone like me, like I have obviously fairly strong self-esteem and confidence. Like I would argue that I couldn't even hack it. Like I couldn't do it. And that sounds egotistical. Like I couldn't even do it, but if like, I don't mean it in that way at all. Like it's remarkable to me. I tried and I was like, I can't do it.
Well, and what's wild is when I made the transition to real estate, I was like, oh, all I have to do is cold call people. Okay.
I got this. This is easy. I can do this all day.
Easy. Like I've been doing that for many years, so, but again, I think, and I feel like we could do a whole nother podcast on like cold calling and door knocking and those activities that really take you out that most people are terrified of. But having that skill set will set you apart beyond. And I'm not saying that every real estate agent or every salesperson has to be able to cold call or cold message. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying if you can, and if you can hone it in a way that you feel comfortable with, where it doesn't feel slimy and salesy, because I hate that, it can really elevate your ability to connect with people.
So staying on that for a second, how did you, because for me, I will say the reason why I couldn't hack it, so to speak, in the MLM world was because I knew immediately that I didn't love my products either. And I didn't love them because I didn't know enough about them. And so I was out there trying to sell lip sense, for example. And I didn't understand why it stayed on my lips. And like when I would get asked a question, I didn't like not knowing the answer. So the transitioning to real estate, door knocking, for me, that's like one of the ways that I built my business. Like it was easy for me to do that because I understood everything. Like if I give me an MLS login and anywhere in the country, and I swear to God, I'll build a business tomorrow because I know how to research and I know how to get after it in terms of door knocking, open houses, whatever. But when it comes to having the confidence and like if anyone listening to struggles with putting themselves out there, and I see how you lead Abby, Lindsey's team member, how you lead her and empower her. And like, what would you recommend for someone that is trying to gain that confidence? Like if you had people in your MLM team that struggled with putting themselves out there, like what are some resources and like beyond like the fluffy, like mindset stuff, like I'm talking like books, trainings, like give me like some real, like in the weeds kind of resources.
Again, like you asked me at the beginning of this podcast, like, how did you just jump right in? Like you just have to rip the Band-Aid off. And I'm the type of person that will remind you why you started. So if you came to me tomorrow and you said, Lindsey, I need to make, an extra $300 to $500 a month, because that's all I wanted when I started. I wanted to be able to make my car payment by myself and not have to rely on my husband, which he was amazing. Like at the time we were a one income household, and I could have just let that be, but I had that inner drive. And so that's all I wanted. So, for me, I would come back to the why, the why are you doing, why did you reach out to me in the first place? Why are you attracted to this? Like, do you love the products? Great. Why? Oh, okay. Cause you want to lose weight. Okay. Why? Because you want to feel better about yourself. Okay. Why? Oh, because you want to, have that confidence that you felt you had, earlier in your life. Okay, great. Why? Getting to the base of why instills confidence in people like no other. Because when you have that, and this sounds so cliche, but it's true, when you go back to that core aspect of why do I want to do this, the how figures itself out. So, someone that's struggling with confidence on posting on social media, or to create a lead gen system on social media, or to make that cold call, in a real estate space or in any sales space, I would say, well, why? Because if you don't have a solid why as to why you're here, you're never going to do it, because it doesn't matter to you deep down. And that's why I say, like, this type of industry is not a good fit for everybody. And that's okay. It's okay. But for me, being able to get to the core of why are you here? Why do you want this extra money? Why do you want this opportunity? Because I will tell you, and I use this example a lot. We're in January, right? People join gyms in January because they're ready for a new year, new me. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to do it. Do you think that gym owner goes to those people that have signed a year-long contract after 3 months and says, why aren't you here every day? Why aren't you working out? No, they just want to belong to something. They just want to be there. They just want to feel good about their treadmill walk or their socializing in the gym. They just want to be a part of something. So that person in a sales space, if they just want to be a part of the organization, I want them there. I'm going to meet them there. Great. I want you here too. What do you want to be a part of? The person that wants to make a lot of money, I'm going to meet them there at a different level. So I think understanding, what are your whys? Why are you here? And how can I get you where you want to be faster is going to be very different for every single person.
Yeah, God, I love it so much. And I didn't want to make this entire thing about MLM, but I think there's so much synergy between what, like, your success now and what you've done in the past, and how you just jumped in and did it. Like, it's cool. Staying in that, like, on a similar topic, and put you kind of on the spot with this. What are your feelings? So you're with Compass at the moment, which is also, in disclosure, the brokerage that I have been with for almost a decade. What are your feelings on the real estate brokerages that are built off of the MLM type model? So like Real and EXP and
so I think there is a space for it. The issue I have with it is I don't feel, and again, I've never been a part of one of these brokerages, so this is kind of a third party perspective. But I have friends who have been a part of these kind of cloud-based, there's no office, there's no, but you're kind of in a recruiting standpoint. I think for people that have a skill set like me, I think they can do very well. I think people who don't realize that that's the business model get burnt out and get discouraged and think that they can't make it in real estate at all. So I think it's very important for people to know what they're getting into in a multi-level marketing designed business. But again, it's not for everybody. So if that's not your skill set, that's not your jam. If you don't want to recruit and make, earn off of people who you're bringing into the business, if you don't like that, or don't feel good about it, or don't think that you can do it, I would go elsewhere.
Why did you not? So given that you're so good at it, why did you not go into one of those brokerages? Well, or why did you pick Compass?
And
why haven't you, I guess?
Yeah, no, in full disclosure, I am still a part of an MLM. So I didn't want to do both. I didn't want to have two. But for me, I really, and I think this has a lot to do with like COVID times and being alone in our houses for so long. I wanted to be a part of a company that had people in the office that were collaborative and, were kind of really focusing more on that in-person aspect. Because at that point in my career, when I made the switch to real estate, I wanted to be in the office again. And so, a cloud-based organization where there was no office didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, that's well said. Okay, so talk to me about how you're creating all this content and you're doing such an amazing job with the marketing of your real estate team. Talk to me about the team behind the team, because one thing I think you've done absolutely right with your business is having people in place behind the scenes that are helping you with the getting the content out of your brain and onto the screen. And talk to me about how you've done that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked this because I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize
Or
kind of needs
disclose.
to what?
They don't, sorry, I cut you off. People don't disclose it. And it drives me nutty
Yes.
nuts when
Yes.
that's partially why I'm setting you up for this, because I'm like, give it a full send that it's not you doing it.
Oh.
Like it is you doing it. Hold on. Credit belongs to the woman in the arena. The critic, it's not the critic who counts. Credit belongs to Lindsey, but go ahead.
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up because I think, a lot of people when they look at social media, which is a very flat level space, they only see what they want to see. And I think disclosing the fact that it's not just me, like I have the ideas and I certainly could execute on all the things if I had all the time, but I don't have all the time. I'm a mom of two with a husband that travels for work. So the thought of me learning how to SEO on the back, like I don't have a brain cell for it. So for me, when I went to launch the Jupiter Group, I sat down and said, what are my skill sets? What is the best use of my time? And what can I sub out to people that I feel qualified to, kind of take that off my plate? And that has really allowed me to focus on what is more productive for me, and B, allow me to be more creative because I'm not bogged down in the how. So I have Abby, who is my biz bestie, my partner. She's in it with me. So, I have her, to work with on the real estate side of things. I have Taylor, who is my videographer. She's incredible. So I come up with an idea for a YouTube video. And for those of you who don't know, like we are really heavily focused on YouTube right now. We're pumping out 2 videos a week. I have an idea. I get with her. She films it. I have a separate editing team who does the YouTube thumbnails, the SEO, the background, the text, all of it. They put the raw footage together. I have someone who builds out my website, separately as well. So I want to premise this. I want to pause here and say, if you're listening to this and you're like, Lindsey, I don't have the budget to do that. I have no way to do that. That's great for you, but I can't right now. That's okay. It's okay. In this day and age, your phone can do a lot. And I would argue in the beginning of my real estate career, I had time to do the things. I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I had the time to do it. And now when I have a little bit more money, I have way less time. So it really does work itself out. If you're like, I would love to make videos and do that, you can. I would start on your phone, start with ChatGPT, stop being afraid of AI. Just stop. AI is the future. It's here. Either get with it or don't. But I would say you should probably learn it. Get, with an AI account that's going to help you kind of create content when you feel the block, like you can't come up with something. Use your phone, and just start putting out the content, because the more you do, the more creative you will be and the easier it will be down the line. I'm at a point now where I am so busy that I have to sub out these things for the quality that I'm looking for. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. Just start. And I promise you, you will get to wherever you want to be in time.
I love that you immediately went after the cost involved with it. That was going to be my next question, because it's anyone listening to this is like, cool, Lindsey, like that's great, but like I don't have the money, and those things are expensive, and they're an investment, and there is a strong ROI, but you can't invest in something if you don't have any money to invest in it. But if someone listening to this does have a small budget of the things that you've mentioned, so you have an editor, you have a videographer. Of the things that you've mentioned, what is something that you think would be the best bang for your buck if you have a budget of, call it, if you had $500 extra dollars a month to start building a brand, what would you do?
I would invest in the upscale ChatGPT, which is $20 a month. Okay. Mm-hmm. I would go on Instagram and find videographers that are just getting started, because oftentimes they will come out and film content with you for free so that they can have the content as well, which actually allows you to market double, one on your page, one on theirs. And don't be afraid to collaborate with them. I think there is this, especially in real estate, there is this like, oh, it's mine. It's my footage. It's my, dude, take my footage, share it, just tag me, collaborate with me. Like, let's do it together. Come on. Like, this will be great. We'll get double the exposure for both of us. And I would reach out to a videographer, go on their Instagram, because I promise you they're posting about what it is that they're doing, look at their content, see if it's decent, and reach out to them and say, hey, would you be willing to film one media day with me a month? So come and let's bang out like 5 or 6 reels, 5 or 6 pieces of content, whatever that looks like for you, for, $150, $200, like whatever your budget allows. You guys, sometimes they'll do it for free. Sometimes they'll do it at a discounted rate. But just you have to be your own best advocate. No one's going to knock on your door with a silver platter that says, this is what you need to be successful. Here it is. And it's free. And it's just for you. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But, in this day and age, there are so many opportunities for a new person to come out and absolutely kill it. Absolutely kill it. But you have to be willing to do the legwork to figure it out. Because most people are not. Most people are happy to just scroll and say, that couldn't be me. I don't have it. I can't do it. It won't work. What will people say? Whatever. But the people that are like, you know what? I want more. I'm ready. It's out there for your taking. It truly, truly is. So videography and make a commitment to yourself to be consistent in your posting and your stories on social media. Facts tell, stories sell. People are in your stories watching you, whether you want to believe that or not, they're watching you. And
say that again. Facts. Say that again.
What? Which part?
Facts tell. Wait, what'd you say?
Facts tell, stories sell.
Facts tell, stories sell. I've never heard that before. Is that a thing?
Oh,
is that a Lindsey thing?
Probably not.
I'm going to give it to you.
I can't take credit for it.
Tell, stories sell. Yes. Oh my God, that's so good. Yeah. Amen.
If you're on social media and you're just posting just listed, just sold, a static post, no one cares about that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like those.
It's devastating. No one cares. They don't.
No one cares.
They don't.
But if you're in your stories, like, showing today, or like new listing, or even better, obstacles that you're personally overcoming, obstacles that your clients are overcoming, obstacles that your brokerage is overcoming, sharing your perspective on that tells people that you're a real person, that you're authentic, and that they can get to know you, learn to like you, learn to trust you. And guess what? Then they want to do business with you.
Yes. Amen. Oh my God, you're so good. I want to clarify that the just sold, just listed posts, it's not that nobody cares. It's that they could care so much more if you put a story behind it. Like, if you have the bandwidth to put up a just sold, just listed, add the story, like add the story, how you got the listing, who the seller is. Like, if you put into ChatGPT, hey, I just sold this home at 123 Banana Street. Give me 10 content ideas around how I can make a story out of it. Like a highest priced home on the block. Like there's so many ways. So I think real estate agents have really gotten away from the and I think it's a good thing, the just listed, just sold. 2 things that have happened in our industry over the last 2 years. We've gotten away from the heavy just listed, just sold. But what's happening, unfortunately, is the agents that were posting those things because they were told that they need to be on social media. So now they're posting those things. And now they're told, slam on the brakes. Don't post just listed, just sold. Nobody cares about your just listed, just sold. Or nobody cares about your holiday post. Don't put up the holiday post. Nobody cares about it. Have you seen that lately? Yes. The BAM media guys have gotten after this, and I'm calling them out by name. And I think we're missing. We're doing 2 things. We're getting in the head of the people that are putting themselves out on social media as oh, I shouldn't be sharing that anymore. And I think the better advice is people do care, but share what you're doing with your holidays. Share 10 things to do in Jupiter for the 4th of July. The best blog that my team has is we have a 4th of July one, a Valentine's Day one, and a New Year's one, like things to do, yes. It's a connective tissue. And same thing, if you're a real estate agent who has gotten used to posting just sold, just listed because you were told to put yourself out on social media, don't stop doing that. Just add the story.
Absolutely.
What's happening now is so many agents are like, okay, I shouldn't post that because it's stupid. And now, these influencers are telling me that it's nobody cares. Like you and I just did it where we were like, nobody cares. Because nobody cares. We don't. but I care about the story. Like still do it. Just give me the story behind it.
And I would say, even like, let's say you're a person who says, well, I post these just listed, just sold because I don't want to put myself on camera. I'm not comfortable. Because I think that's a huge part of why people don't go harder on social media, is because they are insecure about the way they look or sound, and which is totally normal. I want to preface, like, we all suck in the beginning. We do. It's just the nature of the beast.
Some of us still suck. I still suck. I look at myself and I'm like, you said I'm in like a whole bunch there, my girl, but we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah. And I think if you just kind of embrace it and say, I'm still going to do it regardless. But what I was going to say is you can do the faceless route. So for example, I'm going to give you an actionable item. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, okay, I can't post just listed and just sold. Like, what do I post then? If you have a just listed, the next time you're in the house or in the neighborhood, take a quick, like 5 to 7 second video and put text on the screen that says, if I was looking for a house with X, a pool, walkability of the neighborhood, close to great schools, I would look at X neighborhood, and make that real and put some trending audio behind it and post it, because people that are looking at you as a real estate expert and say, okay, wow, I am looking for a house under $700,000, a pool in a great neighborhood. Let me reach out and find out more information. Or they will start to pay attention more to your content. If you make it less about you and more about them and more about the story behind the sale, I think it will give you way more bang for your buck without you having to go on camera, without you having to do a dance, without you having to do any of the things that people just are afraid to do. There is still a very high market for a faceless reel to allow you to get more comfortable putting out content.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. You just hit it on the head. Hit it on the head. Oh my God, there's so many follow-up questions that I want. They're like rabbit holes I want to dive down, like straight down with you. Okay, so we're recording this in 2025, January 2025. What do you think is the most interesting thing that's happening in the real estate world right now?
Gosh, I feel like that's kind of a loaded question. I think, obviously the big changes in the industry over the summer, from a commission standpoint, from the lawsuit standpoint, I think people got way more into that, got way more afraid of it than they needed to be. I would argue I really haven't seen much change. I think there was a lot of like doom and gloom and kind of the world's going to end around all that. Obviously that took up a lot of bandwidth for real estate agents. I think a lot of real estate agents were like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. Like, there's my cue. I'm going to exit. And I think what's been really interesting from my perspective is those that decided to view that as a positive, that decided to roll with the punches, that decided to say, okay, like, we're going to pivot. We're going to use this as an opportunity rather than tap into the media that was like, your business is going to plummet and no one's going to want to use real estate agents anymore. Like, no. From my perspective, and yours may be very different, but people use real estate agents because they want the service. It's not because they feel like they have to you don't have to use a real estate agent. Nobody has to do that. But they don't want that on their plate. They want to be able to say like, hey, this is your area of expertise. I don't want to deal with this. You do it. So I think people that took, the changes in the MLS over the summer and in the lawsuit and the news and everything else, I think people that said, wow, this is an opportunity for me to really double down and become a person that people want to do business with because I'm good. I'm going to be fine. We're able to establish themselves in a way where the people that were like unsure or didn't know or just got out of the game altogether, were not able to. And to me, again, as from an entrepreneurial mindset, I think every kind of big change or, quote unquote, market crash is always an opportunity. There's always an opportunity there. And I think if the agents that viewed it that way and pivoted in a way that allowed them to become an authority in the space, by the end of this year, I think we're going to see big, big production from them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. And I think it also revealed, it revealed the collective industry stance on this, which is, and I'm being careful about how I word this because I don't want to by any means have this taken as like a collective industry stance. Like that means it's collusion. Like, no, I think the leaders in our industry straight across the board have treated this as a big opportunity. And I would say that the mediocre leaders have treated it as a big nothing burger. Like I would say that the mediocre leaders in our industry have gone, it's not a big deal. It'll be business as usual. And I think that the elite leaders have gone, yep, it's an opportunity. Like this is an opportunity for us to double down, for us to get really clear on what our value is. And I think I was talking to Glenda Baker about this on her podcast, that the reason behind the lawsuit, and my thing with it in particular is that my team has always had the policy that we don't represent both sides at the same time. And that was what she and I were talking about, that our industry needs to change. Like it needs to change. I wouldn't go as far as to say on record that the lawsuit was right in like what they went after, but there were issues, consumer issues with how we were disclosing things and how, like, I stand by that firmly. And so I think if you're a real estate agent, and you still haven't quite figured out how to get your buyer broker agreement signed, and if it still is stressing you out, like you're now at this point, you're in the wrong career. Like, because for us to be able to, it now, I've been saying this for years, but now it's like so true. If you're taking a buyer out and you're spending your hard-earned time with someone and you don't have a commitment from them, what are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing? Why am I spending my Mother's Day showing a home to Ellen from New Jersey who's here looking at like homes? And then I look on the tax records. She bought something 6 months later off the back of the time that I spent with her on Mother's Day. And I have no procuring cause because she didn't buy the home that I showed her. But the homes that she looked at were no's for her. So she could then buy the yes. And I feel like any agent that's been doing this for 30 seconds has that story copy paste over and over and over and over again. Like that happens to everybody. And it's like, or it used to happen to everybody. And now that we have buyer broker agreements, Ellen would have owed me money for my time. Duh. Like, why are we not doing that?
And I think, people that, like you said, looked at this as like, you know what? Hell yeah. Like, this is great for me as an agent. Because at the end of the day, and I've told, my team, I talked to Abby about this too. If someone doesn't want to sign an agreement with you, that's fine. Because chances are they're going to run you around anyway. So why not just nip that in the bud and go find a buyer that actually does see the value in what you want to offer them and go work with them. And I think, again, change is scary for most people. And I think especially in the time of, kind of misinformation on social media and everybody's got a take and everybody's got an insight and knows what. I think when you get down to the core of it, understanding what your value is and understanding that you should get paid for your time and understanding that not everybody's going to work with you is like, period, like end of story. Like, that's okay. Let's all move on with our day and keep being a better quality of agent.
Yes. Amen. God, amen. Yes. What's your position on clear cooperation?
I think it's probably going to end. I'm certainly, I am not an expert in the ways of knowing all the things all the time. And when it comes to clear cooperation, but I would say it's on its way out. I think time will tell. But I think 2024 and 2025 in the real estate space, we're going to look back on this in 5 years and say, wow, look how far we've come. Remember those years? Remember that craziness? And I think the agents that are grinding it out now, that are laying the base, the foundation for just the core aspects of what make a good business and a good agent in 5 years from now are really going to be doing well. And again, comes with consistency, comes with showing up, comes with proving your worth to the people that are watching you. I think we're just in a very interesting time in the industry, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. It's a really, really good time to be a real estate leader, to be a real estate agent. Like we're in a good space right now. And I think any agent that's listening to this that is stressed out about like the, interest rates. And I don't think any agent is necessarily stressed about clear cooperation, except maybe Rob Refkin and like the leaders that are trying to like thump their chest, myself included. Like I've been so outspoken about how I think clear cooperation is absolute asinine. But as far as like the NAR lawsuit and interest rates and the election and everything, like we're headed to an amazing space. Like we're fixing things. I think that we're undoing things that we did to ourselves that, yeah. No, go ahead.
I think the powers that have been, the powers that be, I think we're in a time where agents are going to have more autonomy to serve their clients in the best way possible. And as someone who believes wholeheartedly in clear communication with clients, I think I'm so excited for where our bubble, South Florida, I think it's going to absolutely explode.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Okay, so being that you were in the hot seat, hype seat, what is one thing that you want people to know about what you're working on? How do they find you? How do we use this up as an opportunity to give it a full send and full sends only, or I'm going to make you do it again? Where do they find you? How do they give you business? How do they support you? Tell me all the things.
Yes. So on Instagram, you can find the team at the Jupiter Group, spelled exactly the way it sounds. On YouTube, please come find us. We're Living in Jupiter, Florida is the name of the channel. You'll see my face and you'll see Abby on there too. I would say if you're interested in going the YouTube route, go check us out because we are hyper focused on local neighborhoods, local happenings, local people, local businesses, local collabs. That is our only focus on our YouTube is what it's like to live in Palm Beach County. So go find us there on Facebook, of course, Lindsey Tronolone. If you don't know how to spell that, it's okay. I'm sure it'll be somewhere on this podcast.
I struggle more with your first name than your last name. Like I'm always like, is it EY or AY? Or like some kind of like weird, like, I feel like I always do AY. It's okay. EY, right? It is EY.
Yeah. EY, yeah. The correct way. I got it. But yeah, our website, the Jupe Group, come check us out there. We are literally, if you type in the Jupiter Group, Lindsey Tronolone on Google, you'll find us. Our SEO is popping. I found out yesterday from my editing team that when you search Living in Jupiter, we're number 5 ranked on SEO on Google.
I love that.
Our video.
Okay, so it is January 2025. You're going to circle back to this in 6 months.
Okay.
And see how that is okay, so challenge
accepted.
Yeah, you have to say challenge accepted, not me.
Challenge given.
Okay, so you're number 5 right now, right? On Living in Jupiter. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Also, if Lindsey said anything today that was valuable to you, which I feel like every single thing that was out of her mouth was valuable, go and give her a review. I'm the hype boss in me can't help it. Go to her Google business profile and give her a review for being freaking awesome and giving you all the amazing information. Also, while we have you, Lindsey, give it a full send for what you're doing in 2 weeks in New York. Woo! As a team leader of like 2 seconds. Take it away. What are you doing? What did they ask you to do?
Holy cow. So Inman Connect, I will be speaking on a panel at Inman freaking Connect, which is beyond in my wildest dreams as a team leader. This was like very aspirational to me and freaking universal timing's like, okay, January 2025, you're on. Get there. Get to New York, girl. Inman Connect, I will be speaking January 22nd on a panel regarding building authenticity on social media after you make a change. So change brokerages, launch a new team. If you made the mistake of buying bots or buying likes, buying friends, we're going to be covering all that. So if you're in New York, please DM me. I would love to connect and meet you there. You can't miss me. You see my bright red hair. I'm usually wearing blue. But anyway, come say hi to me. And if you're not going to be there, shoot me a DM anyway. I would love to meet you, chat with you, get to know you.
I'm so excited for you. Inman is arguably our industry's biggest stage. It's one of the biggest events of the year, certainly. And it has been one of the biggest, it's one of the biggest like real estate news sites. And to get on one of those stages is such a big deal. People give their right arm to be on a stage like that. And the people the panel is Andrew Jevin, who is the snapping realtor. I always joke with him. Now, to me, for years, this is such a branding thing. To me, Andrew has always been like, I thought he was the snapping realtor because he was doing these the TikTok dances early, but it was Snapchat. Did you know that?
Yeah. No,
I didn't know that. Like I joke with him all the time. I always go, he's the snapping realtor, but it was like the Snapchatting realtor, whatever. And Courtney Pulitzer is also going to be on that panel, and she is an absolute badass boss. Yeah, a total beast. And Lindsey Tronolone, let's go.
I feel all the feels, but mostly freaking pumped. Like just excited to be there and be able to connect and be just, we've arrived. The Jupiter Group is here. So.
Hell yeah. I love it. I'm so into it. Lindsey, thank you for your time. This was so valuable. There's so much more to Lindsey's story and to who she is and what she's doing. And we focused on like a fraction of what she's all about today. And I appreciate you giving it a full send. So go and if you have more questions about what she's doing, go and find her and learn more about her on her feeds. Lindsey, thank you.
Thank you, Holly. What such a pleasure and just an honor to be here. So really, really appreciate it. Thank you.